now we have on stage Dr. Ben Goertzel, who's the CEO and founder of SingularityNET. He's also advisor to Hanson Robotics and has worked for several years at the AI software for the Sophia robot. Ben is also the chairman of the Artificial General Intelligence Society, the Open Cog Foundation, the Decentralized AI Alliance, and the futurist nonprofit Humanity Plus. He is one of the world's foremost experts in artificial general intelligence. He has decades of experience applying AI to practical problems areas, ranging from natural language processing and data mining to robotics, video gaming, natural security, and bioinformatics. Today, Ben is presenting the Singularity DAO, a project they've been working on for several months and in which I personally strongly believe. Over to you, Ben.
Oh, thanks a lot, Marcello. And yeah, this is an exciting moment here for me. I mean, everything we're discussing in this D.OS event today is exciting and important. But in this keynote in particular, I'm announcing something new unto the world, and it's something that I've been brewing together with a bunch of colleagues for some time now, which I think can have a really major impact on the state of the decentralized economy and the decentralized technology sphere. So yeah, this is something we're calling Singularity DAO. There's a website you can look at, singularitydao.ai. And I'm going to give now a sort of informal exposition of why we are creating the Singularity DAO, like what function it will serve in the world, why I think it's so important. And then I'll briefly discuss some of the specific mechanics underlying the Singularity DAO as a sort of AI meets decentralized finance construction. But as these things will do, the intricacies get a bit complicated, and I encourage you to, if you're curious to really understand it, look at the SingularityNET light paper, which is not all that light, but it is linked from singularitydao.ai website. So, with the SingularityNET project, which I've been the CEO of since 2018, I helped co-found in 2017. There, we're looking at using blockchain to create a platform in which AIs all over the world, no matter who they may be created by, these AIs can interoperate and cooperate with each other to carry out various tasks. This is oriented toward building general intelligence and towards serving various vertical markets with narrow AI. And I've been really happy in recent months to be working closely with Charles Hoskinson and these colleagues in Cardano who helped organize this event, because I think Cardano, that constitutes a beautiful underlayer for the SingularityNET. Cardano is sort of the infrastructure for the decentralized world computer. SingularityNET lets you network together a bunch of AIs on top of this decentralized world computer. So I'm very psyched about that collaboration, and we're moving toward porting big chunks of SingularityNET from Ethereum onto Cardano. But what I want to talk about now, it's a little bit different, though in a way pointing in the same direction. I mean, SingularityNET, Singularity DAO, Cardano, all these technologies, they're pushing toward what my friend Ray Kurzweil called a technological singularity, where AI and other technologies are just advancing faster than humans can comprehend, and hopefully, if we engineer it right, delivering more benefit to humans than we can even imagine, right? So creating AI systems, creating decentralized operating systems is one way to do that. But we also have to look at the economic aspect. And SingularityNET and Cardano both are parts of the decentralized technology sector. There's utility tokens associated with them. These utility tokens are being bought and sold by people as well as used, for example, on the SingularityNET marketplace to get AI functions. And what Singularity DAO is aimed at is making the decentralized technology sector work better so that it can grow faster and can grow more stably. I mean, you have a bunch of amazing projects out there, SingularityNET Cardano just two among a host of them. A bunch of cool projects out there, each of which has their own utility token. And this sector of the economy, in some ways, is not as mature as other older sectors of the economy. And this immaturity of the utility token sector has an impact on the growth of technology projects which leverage these utility tokens. And I think this is extremely important issue if you believe, like I do, that technology is being built by these utility token, these altcoin fueled projects, are key to creating a beneficial singularity for the good of the future of humanity, and for creating, beneficial superhuman AIs eventually. I mean, if you think about it, we want the technology fueling AI, fueling finance, fueling medicine, fueling transportation, smart cities. We want the AI fueling these sectors, which is promising to take over all these sectors and thus ultimately take over the whole economy, hopefully in beneficial coordination with humans. We want all this AI to be supplied by democratic, decentralized networks, not by big tech companies, not by big governments. And if we really want the AI that's operating the world economy, to be operated within decentralized networks by these utility token based projects, we need a much better functioning utility token economy, which is a problem we're trying to address with Singularity DAO. I mean, so if you look in the finance world, rather than looking at the software code underlying projects, but look at the finance underlying technology projects. I mean, in the traditional finance world, you've got all sorts of super sophisticated financial mechanisms with derivatives, credit, default swaps, fund of funds, and so forth. And then standard traditional tech startups, they feed into this sophisticated finance economy, right? When you make a tech startup, you're supposed to go seed A round, B round, C round, D round, and then you're pitching yourself either for IPO, which is in the whole banking system, or for acquisition by a big tech company, which is a publicly listed company with all the restrictions that entails, but also all the time with complex, sophisticated financial mechanisms. Right now, if you're in the decentralized utility token space, on the one hand, it's more democratic. Everything can be with non-custodial smart contracts. Very cool. On the other hand, that universe lacks the financial sophistication of traditional finance. And there's the potential to introduce into the utility token sphere a lot of this sophistication that's there in traditional finance, and even more so, right? And I think, as a mathematician and computer scientist, in some ways, that seems a little off to the side, because I want to work on the algorithms for making thinking machines and crunching genomic data to help people not get sick and so forth. But yet, every cool technology project needs financing to pay the developers working on it and to pay for the computer time running the AI algorithms. And if the financial ecosystem underlying the decentralized technology space is unsophisticated and inefficient, that will pose an issue in terms of decentralized technology projects, playing a huge role in the global technology sphere. And I think we're seeing that now. So this is the motivation for Singularity DAO, which is bringing AI and decentralized finance together to create a next generation utility token ecosystem. I mean, I've given the grand vision. From a nitty-gritty point of view, what we're talking about is using DeFi mechanisms to create more liquidity for the universe of moderate to low liquidity utility tokens and non-fungible tokens. I mean, DeFi is out there now. It's been booming the last 6 months. It's incredible. It's been mostly for Bitcoin and Ethereum and various derivatives there, rather than for the lower liquidity altcoins or the NFTs that are really driving the bulk of innovation in the world. So we want to bring DeFi to the space of lower liquidity tokens, and from a certain perspective, that sounds like a down in the weeds sort of technical token finance thing. But if you think that decentralized technology projects are what's critical for powering the next stage of global innovation to bring about a singularity, all of a sudden these sorts of financial machinations seem to have some fundamental value. So I mean, what we're looking at is aggregating lower liquidity altcoins into portfolios and indexes using non-custodial mechanisms, where an AI can then help you decide which combinations of these altcoins to hold in your wallet, so you don't have to investigate every project in detail yourself, and then having staking and yield generation mechanisms for these bundles of altcoins all wrapped within a DAO, a decentralized governance framework. And this is a Singularity DAO, and there's a set of specific tokens which are being introduced here, each of which has a function in terms of creating greater liquidity and value, decreasing volatility, generally creating greater health in the utility token economy. So we start with what are called Dynaset tokens. This is a sort of dynamic token set. A Dynaset is just a collection of utility token assets which can be dynamically rebalanced, or tokens can be inserted or removed from that basket, that portfolio, by an AI robo-advisor algorithm. And there can be a bunch of these different Dynasets in the SingularityDAO ecosystem. You could have a Dynaset of NFTs representing works of fine art, or a Dynaset of utility tokens representing AI projects. And each of those, you hold in your own wallet. It's managed by an external AI robo-advisor. If you don't want to make any decisions about which Dynasets to invest in, we'll also offer what's called a metaset, which is sort of weighted average of all the Dynasets in the Singularity DAO. Now, you can just let these Dynasets help regulate which utility tokens are held in your wallet, or you can stake a Dynaset, and the Dynaset itself will have a token, sort of like an ETF. You can stake these ETF-like Dynaset tokens. In exchange for staking them, then you can get a reward in the form of Sing yield tokens. So this is a yield farming aspect which is currently absent in the world of lower liquidity altcoins, and which then lets a lot of other things happen, right? I mean, the liquidity pool of staked Dynaset tokens can be loaned out by arbitrage or machine learning predictive algorithms looking to gain value. You can have futures and options defined there, and then those who hold their Sing yield tokens for a substantial period of time, so demonstrating their dedication to the ecosystem, can get Sing DAO governance tokens, which lets them participate in the governance of the decentralized autonomous organization underlying the Singularity DAO. So if you look at singularitydao.ai website, this diagram is on there. You can peruse it at leisure and look into the white paper. I mean, obviously, as with all these quantitative finance constructs, there's a fair bit of subtlety to how the math is worked out. But at the basic level, it has these four layers that I've just reviewed. I mean, the bottom layer is the utility tokens, altcoins, NFTs, which could be varying levels of liquidity, which are aggregated together. Then the next level, you have Dynasets, or dynamic AI managed portfolios of these tokens. And you can see there's a simplicity and there's a volatility reduction happening here, right? Because if you have say a dozen AI related altcoins, which are of modest liquidity, if you aggregate those together into a Dynaset, which is like an index of AI related altcoins, right? That will have lower variance in any individual one, and there's also less cognitive load in deciding how to shift your own portfolio among different AI-based altcoins, because the AI robo-advisor managing that Dynaset, that portfolio, is making the decision for you. And if you intend to sort of hold this AI robo-advisor managed collection of AI-related altcoins for a while, well, then why not stake it and earn some Sing yield tokens, which will increase in value over time. And then these are also liquid, right? And one can generate more value via ongoing exchange of these if one wishes. Now, if you're someone developing machine learning for arbitrage or financial prediction or whatnot, I mean, you can then also borrow some of these staked Dynaset tokens from the Singularity DAO liquidity pool. You can borrow those, execute trading activity, and or arbitrage activity, whatever, and return what you borrowed. And this borrowing and repaying activity is what's generating the yield, which is paid to the holders of Singularity yield tokens. And it's also in the background, it's generating a lot of liquidity for the dynasets, but also for the altcoins, which are constituents of the dynaset. So what we have a lot of methods for value generation here, and we're also creating an ecosystem that should substantially boost the liquidity of lower liquidity altcoins. And having more liquidity there provides more value for generation of value. I mean, more avenues for generation of value, more avenues for growth, and more methods for volatility reduction for the underlying altcoins, which you don't want to forget when looking at all these financial machinations. These underlying altcoins represent quantifications of value for the decentralized technology projects that are building our future, right? So I mean what this is all about is taking utility tokens that play a role in critically important technology projects or aesthetic art media projects. In the case of NFTs, you're taking these utility tokens and you're creating an ecosystem which allows their value to be regulated in the community in just a more sophisticated way than what we have right now. And I mean, this obviously it's a complex system with a bunch of different parameters, as is the traditional finance ecosystem. And while SingularityNET Foundation has been incubating this project, it's being launched as a completely separate entity, and it will be governed as a DAO by the participants, specifically by the holders of the SingDAO governance tokens, which is the top layer here. Which these tokens, they're liquid, but they're not as easy to earn as the others. I mean, you have to hold the SingYield tokens for a while to become part of the governing group. So, this whole thing could work without AI in principle, but it wouldn't work so well. I mean, AI can sort of grease the operations at every level. I mean, we really want to have AIs managing these baskets of altcoins, not people. And there's a lot of market making required on the back end to be done by third parties. We've talked to a lot of third parties who are excited about this. And to keep liquidity flowing for all the underlying and derived instruments here, you're going to have market makers using machine learning and reinforcement learning, along with doing things the traditional way. Then, of course, the borrowers of the staked Dynaset tokens may be using AI-based algorithms for prediction, hedging, and so forth. So there's AI needed behind the scenes all over the place, and not coincidentally, the SingularityNET platform, which is a decentralized blockchain-based AI network, just happens to be ideally suited as the the implementation and deployment platform for the AI agents serving these various roles within the Singularity DAO ecosystem. So Singularity DAO, it's a separate structure. It's designed to foster the growth of the utility token ecosystem generally, in order to foster the growth of decentralized technology projects which are building our future. But SingularityNET and Singularity DAO are designed to work very closely together, because SingularityNET, it's the ideal platform to supply the AI tools that Singularity DAO needs for its operations. So that's the high level here. And if you want to plunge into more details, take a look at the diagram on singularitydao.ai website and download the light paper, give it a read. And we're going to have better and better sort of tutorial and explanatory materials on the website as the project advances. I mean, we're already plunging into detailed design and engineering of this thing, but I'm announcing it today. We're not launching the actual software yet. There's a fair bit of building still to be done, but yeah, I'm very excited about this. I mean, we have within SingularityNET a bunch of spin-off projects that we've been also incubating for a while, which are going to have their own tokens. Say that the Rejuve AI longevity network, the NewNet platform for tokenizing decentralized compute resources, Accelerando Media, which is a blockchain-based media project. So, I mean, from the standpoint of launching new tokens on the world, which will be interoperating with SingularityNet's AGI token, I would rather launch new tokens into like a robust, sophisticated DeFi ecosystem for liquidity tokens than to launch them into the, the utility token sphere as it currently exists. And I think the same is going to be true for everyone. Everyone launching a new decentralized technology project, which needs to be more and more and more people if the world is going to come out the way we need it to, because we need our advanced technologies, democratic and decentralized rather than, monopolized or oligopolized by big tech companies and governments. So everyone launching a decentralized technology project with a utility token is going to be a lot better off if we have this sort of sophisticated, democratically regulated AI DeFi ecosystem to help them, grow value and liquidity for their tokens. So yeah, it's a new adventure, closely correlated with our existing SingularityNET adventure, and you can expect to hear a whole bunch more about it in the coming weeks and months.